Welcome to another episode of Singapore's Real Estate Explained, where we do our best to break down bite-sized information, bite-sized investment insights into...
I think every time the script changes.
Correct.
Yes.
But we Unlock, we actually have a standard script, right?
Yep.
But, when it comes to free play, we are very good at it because we want to give you that candid and that, that immediate knowledge and the immediate opinion on the investment advice, okay? We are a little shacked now because honestly, right, as you're seeing this video different times, right? Actually, we shoot multiple videos a day because we are not full-time content creators. We are wannabes. We are not, right? But we want to do our best to educate our clients, right? So this is an episode of the new launch review. And some of our clients have been telling us, Jervis, Chris, two things, okay? Jervis, speak slower. Number two, Jervis, you always launch the review with Chris after balloting. Then we choose already, then we realize cannot buy. Some of that choose realize can buy good, but cannot buy how. So now we are future pacing a little bit. Yep. We'll be covering a new launch that's coming out real soon, and it's called the Reserve Residences. So let's just talk to Chris, our Director of Investments, a little bit more about Reserve Residences, and we will give our opinions from there. Yeah?
Alright, so Reserve Residences is found in Upper Bukit Timah at Beauty World MRT.
Very near.
Quite near. And in fact, as I mentioned, District 21 is a very interesting part of Bukit Timah. Yes. You know, there's upper and lower.
Yes.
It's considered upper
there's
side.
no lower but it's Bukit Timah.
Bukit Timah.
Yeah, but we always call it lower.
I'll call it lower.
Yeah.
It is District 21 area.
Yeah.
And this project is actually developed by Far East
and
Sino Group.
Yes.
And typically it's made out of a low-rise tower up to 11 stories, mid-rise 16 stories, and even for high-rise 32 stories.
High. I'm saying very high.
Very rare.
And then in terms of the land area, we're saying it's like 346,000 square feet. Right? So this is a mixed development. In another video, we'll be covering a little bit more about the mixed development later on. But if right now you still haven't joined our Telegram group chat, it's going to be here. Because we have a goal to grow to 2,000 by end of this year. Now we're standing at close to 450, 60, right?
Yep.
And this webinar, this Telegram channel, right, is going to be where our webinars are going to be at, lobangs, right? Everything's going to be there, okay? So please just subscribe so that we can send you some good perks as being part of the GNE community, okay? So when I look at this District 21, a lot of past experiences.
Yes.
We had view at Kismis. Right? We had Daintree Residences, which was selling as low as 1,005 by Setia Group previously.
Yes. In fact, it's a lot of memories because that was my first few projects that actually concluded.
And I remember the first deal that you conclude was
so tough,
heart-wrenching, stopping deal. Yeah, almost activated the whole agency to fight. And then after that, we have Foreign Residences as well. That's slightly up. And then we had Verdale, right? And of course, the most recent that was sell out was Dairy Farm Residences in District 23. Sold 1,006. I think in the end, close price was about 1,008 plus. Of all places, Daintree Residences, 1,006, 1,008. We were like, cannot.
Yep.
Then next to it launched Botany, right? The Botany, and it was like launching 1,008 to 1,009 PSF.
2,000 per square feet.
Yeah, now it's 2,000 PSF.
Yep.
So let's just talk about this. Let's talk about Reserve Residences. Okay, come.
All right. So this place is actually RCR, which is Ras Central Region. Typically, some things address is called Jalan Anak Bukit.
Yeah.
We have Bukit Timah, Bukit inside. Yeah. And typically, it's a mixed development as mentioned as well, with mainly commercial and residential usage. And it's a 99-year leasehold. Number of residential is 737 units, which is quite a big size development for this area. Alright, so some of the developer background, okay, there's some people does have confusion between Far East Organisation and Far East Consortium. There are two different developers. In fact, Far East Organisation, some of the recent projects done, in fact, Bijou, which is one of the very interesting freehold. Bijou at RCR. In fact, fun fact, my first rental was over there.
Bijou.
Yeah,
so
Bijou.
So Far East, you are watching this, right? This man of faith is actually supporting Far East from the first day, okay? Yeah. And then we have One Holland V Residences. Quite a blockbuster launch then. I still remember in One Holland V Residences, there was a screen, right, to show the take-up rate of Singaporeans and Hong Kong people, because it was live selling in Hong Kong for One Holland Residences, And then we have Skyline at Orchard Boulevard. So Far East Organisation, definitely not foreign to anybody. Actually one of the founding developers of Singapore. They have developed multiple great developments.
In fact, shopping malls.
Shopping malls as well.
Yeah. Okay, next up, let's take a look at location. Location-wise, as I mentioned just now, it's quite near to Beauty World MRT. In fact, it's right here. Okay, just side by side to the Beauty World MRT. And in fact, it's near Pei Hwa Primary, which we run through later on, within 1 km, very, very near. And typically it's right in the heart. And it's right near the Bukit Timah nature also.
Yeah. What I'm seeing right now is that one of the key selling factors of this place would definitely be Pei Hwa Presbyterian Primary, right? And secondly, Rifle Range Nature Park is amazing.
Yes.
Just 2 weeks ago, our sales force decided to go for a hike at Rifle Range Nature Park. Not only did we see monitor lizards, we saw snakes, we saw monkeys, and we saw no wild boars lah.
No wild boars.
No crocodiles, sadly.
Crocodiles.
Yes.
Yeah.
Still have animals.
The smaller version, monitor lizard.
Monitor lizard, yes, absolutely. So it's a newly open... Spiders as well, yeah.
Big ones,
it's a newly open... And durians also.
Durians.
It's a newly open park where, you know, it connects you all the way to MacRitchie.
Yes,
and we walked all the way till... They said signed to MacRitchie 8.7 km, we turned back lah, right? Yeah. So quite a nice park and quite a nice place for nature lovers, from what I'm saying.
Yes,
yeah?
indeed.
Yeah.
All right, and it's known as a place for growth potential because they mentioned it's not just the parks is one side, but also recreating and rejuvenating the entire place.
Yes.
And one of the key highlights over here is not just the park, but also the recent integrated transport hub for Beauty World that is up and coming. In fact, it will say in the next 5 years to 10 years time, a few master plan that is drafting it, but there's no concrete plans of when it will be fully developed.
Absolutely. And there was this link at Beauty World that was almost sold out, right? I think sold out already.
Sold out already.
And reading launch, it was like very quick take-up rate. I remember crazy take-up rates.
100% sold out.
Yeah.
Yeah. And other things is like Turf City. If you go down towards the district 10, which is the Bukit Timah, the lower parts of the Bukit Timah stretch, there's a upcoming Top City that's doing revamption, which near the King Albert Park area. So there are some things to keep a lookout for. But of course, for this, we'll go straight into the numbers, which I'm more interested in.
Yes. So this entire place, right, means the world to me. I think the photo now you're showing the old fire station that, you know, they are planning to turn it into a mini Dempsey Hill, right?
That's nice.
And, you know, this is holds memory because I'm a West Side boy.
Oh,
Yeah. I've been staying in the West for like 21 years of my life. Shifting to the East every time, driving past this road down towards where I stay, which is Choa Chu Kang, right? It's always the road where, you know, there's a lot of reflections because at night, right, there's always a lot of like, it's very good traffic. There's no traffic, you know, just drive down. And yeah, so this place, it's heartwarming for me.
Yeah. And next up, we have the schools. The schools where Pei Hwa Primary, one of the top schools in Singapore.
100%.
100%. A lot of people
Some of our realtors send their kids there as well.
Yes, alumni.
Yep.
Yeah, then we have MGS Primary, which is pretty good also.
Yes.
Nangus High is a secondary school, National Junior College, and Hwa Chong Institution.
Definitely.
Which is great school.
Shopping wise, what we're seeing here is that it is driving distance to the Orchard shopping belt, right? 6th Avenue Centre is there, the Grandstand, Bukit Timah Plaza. And you know, there's going to be a Turf City transformation that's coming out real soon, right?
Yes.
And not only that, there's a lot of very good food options, you know, in the area. It's just that it's hidden either in the shopping centre or like, you know, so many places, right? There's very good like Frog Lake as well near the area. So the area is actually like a township by its own already.
Yeah, in fact, one thing, Bukit Timah Plaza, there's also where my favorite BFT.
Yeah,
so Bukit Timah World Center.
Yes.
They try these are all the VFT spots, you know, where we do exercise, workout, and also our tuition centers within this area. Yeah. Okay, and we also have the Bukit Timah Community Club, which is down actually quite near Daintree residences. Singapore Island Country Club, Temasek Club, British Club, Swiss Club. Wow, these are all the clubs.
Atas clubs. Yeah, really atas clubs. I didn't know the existence of like a Swiss Club Singapore. I knew that there's a Swiss Club Road, but until one of our clients brought us there, and they serve really good Indian food.
Yes, indeed. Right. In terms of the food and market, as what Joyce mentioned just now, the Real Mall, okay, and the Beauty World Food Centre and Bukit Timah Food Centre. Beauty
Timah Food Centre, it is amazing. I grew up eating there. You know, I didn't know about the existence of Beauty World Food Centre until just recently. Bukit Timah Food Centre is amazing. Very good soya bean, you know, kway chap lah, or anything is all there. Very convenient place I'm seeing right now.
Right. Okay, so next up, let's take a look at the site map and unit mix. It's very interesting because it typically is in you see like an S shape over here. Okay, and another one which is right over here. Okay, so the difference is all the units are like interposed within each other in the sense that there's one beta you can see over here and here. Okay. Then subsequently, you have the 4 betas that's intertwined in the other tower between, which is the blue side over here. So it's a very nice mix of like the 1 and 2 beta, 3 beta, 4 beta intertwined with one, not like some that is exclusive stack. Okay. And there are different areas like the horizon, okay, where you have a private leaf, okay, where 167 units there as such. A quick site, which is 48 units with private leaf, okay, which is for the low rise. Okay, horizon is for the high rise. Okay, you have also things like the Sky Terrace, penthouse, which is in level 32, with higher ceiling height.
I think you will have quite a bit of a nice unblocked greenery view that you can see as well in the area.
Yes,
so
indeed.
just a fun fact here, right? Most of the details here are still awaiting confirmation. But what we wanted to do is that we wanted to release the content ASAP so that the moment the details are confirmed and the pricing is confirmed, you know, we can walk through the video and we can look at what is the pricing that we think we should enter at, right? We are very strong in our technical analysis and comparative analysis. Other than that, how the unit layout is going to be like, we are still waiting for floor plans, but we plan to launch this video first so that for anybody who's interested, at least you got some guiding handlebars, guiding principles for you to buy the properties there as well. Yeah.
All right. So next, in that product placement wise, you can take a look right here. It's integrated development. So you have the high rise and mid rise side by side here.
And the low rise there as well. Tower 1 to 4.
Yeah, so Tower 1 to 4. And right below, you have the entire mall, which will be managed by one of the developer. Okay, or find out the
most likely will be Far East or another operator of the shopping center, right? And hey, this is going to be a big transformation because the shopping malls look big. Right? And you see, wow, low rise and high rise up to 32 floors. I think it's going to be, in my opinion, one of the blockbuster launches in the Beauty World area. And I tell you what's the funniest thing. The funniest thing is that Far East is known to be launching blockbuster launches, right? But whether prices can or cannot is another thing. So we have to talk about the pricing later on as well.
Yeah. All right.
All right, so let's talk about the floor plans. So unfortunate to say, right, I think the floor plans are not sent yet. It's not confirmed yet, but we're going to show you a little bit more about like the different layouts, the different unit layouts as you can see. So Chris, run us through. I'm seeing a huge spectrum. One bedroom, not only with or without balcony. There's even a 2+1, 2+2, 2+study, 5-bedroom, duplex 5-bedroom also have.
Yes, in that.
So let's talk about
variety.
This. 700 units.
You can see most of them, right? 400 units. Okay, 100 units are one bedder. 300 units are the two bedders. So there's something that makes us almost like 60% of most of the units over there. And typically, okay, for yourself, do you like balcony or no balcony for you?
Okay, so I am not a big fan of balconies because personally, I think balcony is actually wasted space. But you know what? Penny is a fan of balconies. She loves balconies because she likes to enjoy the view. Right. So what about yourself?
For me, definitely without. For me, it's just extra space. And I rather sometimes let myself just not have a balcony and save on the 50, 40K or 100K.
But sometimes balconies can be like, you zip track down, it can be a livable space for alfresco dining as well. So it has to be a functional one lah. It cannot be too big, cannot be too small. So
yes, indeed.
Yeah. So
okay. So you can see the 3 bedders also very interesting. A huge variety, which is total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 7 types of 3 bedder. From the smallest one without any utility and also washroom, all the way to the biggest one with a private lift. So I believe this cater 2 different groups. One is someone who is more mass market in the small compact size, and all the way up to the more luxury ones. I think that's something Cafe is always looking at. But some of their clients are actually overseas China clients who love big units, private lift with certain minimum size they're looking at.
Absolutely. Yeah. So let's just go deep into the technical analysis of this. I think it's quite interesting because there were some numbers that looks a little startling. And that was the reason why we wanted to faster analyze before anybody decides to take action on buying any specific units. So let's just go into the technical analysis of this place.
All right. So the first thing we do, as always, is we look at what's the freehold premium in the area. So we took the average of the past 3 years for District 21 freehold versus leasehold. So freehold premium in this area is about 11.5%.
Not as high as the other districts, actually, what I'm seeing here.
Indeed. Okay, and if you factor that in, very interestingly, you look at a polynomial trend for the 1 bedder, in fact, for freehold premium, looking at 27 developments who are bigger developments in the area, what we see the average freehold price in 2027 will be around 25223 per square feet. And meanwhile, the average price for leasehold is around 2233 per square feet.
And if I didn't recall wrongly, reserve is a 99 years. Which means that based on the indication right here, assuming, TOP in 2027, the average price in the area will be about 2,233 for leasehold, right? I think it's a very important number for you to remember as we go on to the analysis as to what we think that the launch price is going to be and what is actually a fair launch price, right? And seeing here, the demand for 1-bedroom condominiums is actually moderate, means that it's not too high, neither is it very low, but it's quite similar throughout the entire Singapore, right? 1-bedroom and 1+1 usually are very good rental options, but not the best when it comes to own stay options or exiting the secondary market.
The returns are not the highest. If I ask you, it's 0.639, which is quite decent.
It's quite high.
And one thing to note, another thing about the 1 bedders, there's down the road, there's also a Hugh Fort, which is like 60-year lease. The one beta there are compact size.
Yes.
These are selling below 500k
Yes.
on average.
And because it's it's one of the rare properties with very short-term leases.
Correct.
And also it's like a retirement home lah, for a lot of people.
So there's some things that we can compare to later on in the resale market. Okay, next up we see the two beta. The two betas by itself is also very interesting. The freehold price on average is 2310 per square feet. If you net off the freehold premium, you're looking at 2044 per square feet. For R square 0.56. Okay, decent. Not the most highest in terms of R square, but quite decent. And once again, you see the two beta is still quite moderate as compared to supply, which is low on the low side. Okay, then meanwhile for 3-bedroom, okay, there's also R square is 0.38. Okay, less of an association, but a pretty average price is 2349. Average price for leasehold is about 2075. Okay, but we notice one thing is the demand for 3-bedroom condo is pretty high as compared to the supply. So it's something that you'll be looking at more often in terms of exiting.
Absolutely. So just draw your attention towards the average price for freehold as well as leasehold is different, right? So since Reserve Residences is a leasehold project, so let's take a look at the average price for the leasehold side, right? After factoring into the freehold premium, right?
So factoring the freehold premium out is, as I mentioned, at 2075. But one thing to note about this graph, right? You can see there's the correlation is all over the place. I mean, it's not like very gathered along this line. It's also because most of the units there, the older units, they are very, very big size. So typically you have
the PSF is low.
PSF is very low. Then the newer units, there are some in the 2010 also quite large size and small size. So it's intertwined between the big and the small units. So the bigger units, of course, they have low PSF. The smaller units have a higher PSF.
So later on at the back part of the comparative analysis, we'll give you a fuller picture as to how the different other launches that have been sold out or almost sold out, they've been doing, right? So that from there you can have a better comparison as well, because it's not a fully apple to apple comparison, because the polynomial trend line doesn't take into account the 700 different factors that's in charge, but more of the pricing, right?
Correct.
But this is like our first baseline, our first safeguard to see what is the safe price to enter. Then we can add in a little bit more buffer based on the difference in terms of the developments as well. Let's take a 4-bedroom. So I'm seeing that the 3-bedroom has high demand, but then the 4-bedroom actually moderate demand, which is quite interesting, right? That in this area, most people are looking to buy like a 3-bedroom.
Correct. In fact, how you trace all this demand and supply is looking at number of inquiries on the portal and seeing what is the number of supply, number of units that's left in portal. So they do a comparative. Okay, by using this, right, last thing is very interesting. The freehold for 4-bedroom, you can see the trend line based on the power of 3 is 0.3893. Not the highest. But if you want to follow this polynomial trend line, freehold average price 2670 per square feet. Average price around 2363 per square feet for the leasehold, which is for reserve if they want to sell in 2027. So these are some things that we can use to benchmark, but you can see for 3 and 4-bedroom, the correlation is not as high. So the key thing now is to look at more the qualitative side, which will be a little more in-depth when it comes to doing that later on.
I understand. So just in summary, right, for the 1-bedroom, right, the leasehold is going at 2233 PSF, 2 is 2044 per square foot, 3 is 2075 per square foot, and 4 at 2363 PSF. With the awareness that the correlation in the 3 and 4-bedroom is not as high, and that means that we have to go deeper into the comparative analysis with investment acumen to choose the right unit. And next thing, just to clarify the whole polynomial regression strategy, right? This strategy doesn't predict future price, but rather it predicts, it hypothesizes what the current valuation of this unit will be, assuming that TOP is at 2027. So we're talking about current pricing now. What's a fair value, not future 2027 value? If you,
yes,
understand. Just want to clarify that. Okay, let's talk about Far East and Sino Group, right? Let's talk about the land bids and the performances. Yes.
All right.
River Tree Residences.
So River Tree Residences, Far East has done a lot of projects from OCR to RCR to CCR. In fact, I used to stay in one of their central residences. Far East.
Region Grove.
Yeah. So it's quite interesting. But the key thing is, over here, River Tree Residences, okay, which quite recent, I guess, completed 2017, but the tenures are 2013, the last time in 2014. During a period of time, I believe that was during after post cooling measures after 2013 period. So the launch price 1108 is only around 11.4% higher than 995.
More realistic.
They're more realistic. And in fact, after that, it did dip a little bit, and before going up by around 24% up to date. That's almost close to 9 years. So the first 2 month transaction volume is around 50%. Okay, that's usually what Far East is quite common. I mean, for Far East project, usually they don't expect like 100% sold out in the first. Very rarely.
Yes, because they have the holding power to hold.
Yes,
and
indeed.
you can see what happened to Chancery Court. They're more than happy to hold it from a potential launch of sale to paying for the ABSD, then now leasing out the units.
Yeah,
so
correct,
this is the holding power of Far East, right? And
yeah, you see like banners putting it for lease, which is very interesting.
And also that's the reason why if you see Far East projects, right, they don't do very big price staging. And the good news is that rarely do you see them like dropping the price too much, right? After post-launch, right? And one thing that I think we got to take note of is that doesn't mean it's all good as well, because you got to take a look at the break-even margin, because we don't know how developers function in different kind of markets as well. Yeah. Okay. Correct. And later on, we're going to talk to you a little bit more about resale residences, the estimated price, and how many percent above break-even it actually is. Right?
Yep, indeed.
Yeah.
All right. Another example is One Holland Village.
Beautiful development.
Very beautiful development. And they bid the land at One Holland Village area. I mean Holland Village area. Yeah. It's 99 2010, 2018, sorry. A launch price was about 2694. Which is only 2.9% difference from the break-even price. Yeah. Okay, but one thing to take note is this break-even price actually does include the entire construction of the entire landscaping.
Yes.
That's why they're factoring in the fact that the other of the retail malls, etc., they will just be renting out and functioning. That's why you notice for land bids of mixed development, very interesting.
Yes.
They tend to be higher, much higher.
Yes.
Because it includes the big plot of land on the commercial side, and this all factored into the break-even price.
Yes.
And using this, that's why the break-even, it won't be surprising. It's just a bit higher than the launch price, because most of their profit margin later will come from the renting of the commercial side, those areas, and that is where they earn most of the profit margin after managing it.
Yes.
And also we notice, is once again, Far East, they are quite well known to not sell like 100% or 90, 70% of the project. On the first day, it's only 40%.
Absolutely. Okay. And they have the holding power, as we mentioned just now as well.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so if I were to assume One Holland Village being sold over here, you can see break-even price 2617. The launch price was 2694. Yep. This is something that is very common in terms of Far East projects.
Yeah. Right now, what is the PSF for One Holland V?
One Holland V is about close to 2008-2009.
I see. So the prices has actually went up, right? And beautiful development. And it's one of the rare few developments where you see integrated developments in the Holland Village area as well. And that's the reason why there's a huge demand, right?
Correct. And it's slow for sales, in fact, for some time already. Only recently, there was some promo and things like that, but not like major crash, major drop. Yeah. But typically, what we see is because the price, although it's the break-even price is very close to your selling price. Yeah. But I must understand down the road, you see like here in Holland, other areas, freehold, Lytton Green, down the road, they're going at only 2006, 2007 for a period of time, 2.5 even per square feet. And that's when One Holland Village find a little tough to move for some time until the units were sold out.
Yeah. And then the prices started picking up at One Holland V, right?
Yes, correct.
Okay, let's take a look at the surrounding land bids. I think this is also quite interesting. Yep.
So surrounding land bid is very interesting right here, because if you look at the latest, let's take at the latest one is Bukit Timah Link. 15 November 2022. This is a 2111 per square feet. Small land plot 4,000 square meter. In fact, fun fact is 99 year, but yet to be launched. Okay, sale is by GLS. So this is the latest land bid. That's 2022. But you trace back. Take a look at Reserve Residences. It was bought in 30th August 2021 at 1,658 per square feet. 99 year tenure. And interestingly, if you know, it's actually bought before the cooling measures in December 2021, where they raised the entire ABSD for developers by another 10%.
Yes.
In fact, from 25 to 35%. So typically, the one that is sold later on in 15 December 2021, although it's mixed development, en bloc, freehold, but it's small.
Yeah, very small.
That's why I can't really compare. It was on a slightly 1,787. Now freehold value, it could be a 99 year. If you sold at the same price, it will be close to 1,005. But once again, this is freehold. And also it's a small development. So naturally, the PSL will be lower.
And what I'm saying here is that because there are future land bids that happen at Bukit Timah Link in 2022 at 2001 PSF, assuming like a 20% profit margin, it will amount to about 2,005 in the Bukit Timah, in the upper Bukit Timah area, right?
Correct.
So I wouldn't be surprised if Far East launch at a high price, especially when it's the biggest and the most blockbuster development in Bukit in beauty world. And just right now, focus a little bit more on the break-even pricing, because from there you're able to see the margins for yourself later on.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's something that with looking at Bukit Timah Link, they sold a 99-year small land plot 2001, had to sell at 2005. This is something that Far is looking forward to. Yeah. So next part, in terms of reserve residences, if I were to compare to the other developments like Mayfair Garden, Mayfair Modern, which launched bought in 2017, long time ago. Of course, this area, honestly, to be very frank,
it's a little closer to the city.
Yeah. It's slightly more prestige. King Albert is compared to Beauty World, but it's still within District 21. So let's compare. You can see Mayfair Garden, Mayfair Modern, break-even is 1,846 per square feet. And this area, although the city fringe district, same district, but typically they bought more expensive as compared to reserve residences, which integrate development. So that's when they had the confidence. We give buyers a greater confidence to be able to sell at a higher price because they launched at almost 2,000 per square feet, 1,009 for 5 to 10% above break even.
Absolutely.
Okay, and we also have the Link at Beauty World, which is freehold. Okay, en bloc. Okay, done through en bloc, 100% sold. Okay, on average launch price was about 2,186 per square feet. Freehold, but it's a smaller land plot, only 2,000 square meter of land. So there's something that Far East once a benchmark, and that was sold back then 2 years ago.
So based on market news that we have, if you go on to the next slide, you will see that we are hearing on the ground that Far East will be launching somewhere around 2,500 per square foot, right? So of course you can say that it's the developer's foresight in being able to buy a land that is cheaper, right? But of course as consumers we need to know right? What is the percentage in terms of break even? Because if it's too high, then there's always going to be the propensity of Far East dropping prices, right? And if you take a look at this, assuming a 10% break even margin, it's going to be 1,008. If this is the pricing, buy. 15% 1,907. If this is the pricing, still can seriously consider. 20% 1,990. And then with a likely launch about 2,005 PSF, right? It's already 40% above break even. So how do you feel about this?
Honestly, I'll be a little bit apprehensive. Because 40%. But nonetheless, if the market could take it, that's another thing. But for me, I'll be a little more prudent, closer to 2,000. That's something I'm okay to take.
Absolutely. And if you go on to the next slide, you see the future land bleeds, right? This is something that will increase the confidence of Far East 100%, right? Well, they are visionaries, right? You see Bukit Timah Link over here, break even 2,111, right? Assuming 20% profit margin is 2,533. And it's such a small land plot compared to reserve residences. Right, it's close to almost 10 times smaller, because it's about 4,000 square meters.
Maybe 6 times.
The other one is 32,000 square meters, right? So about
they're about like
8 times, 8 times smaller. And if you see, it's like wow, one is residential, the other is mixed development. Totally different kinds of land attributes as well. Of course, mixed D usually have a higher premium compared to residential homes. And assuming that they sell at 20% profit margin is 2,533. So if I sell at 2,487 at 40% above break even, it's not unfair. It's actually very fair. Looking at the market,
comparable.
Absolutely.
SFI is quite smart in terms of buying the land earlier.
Smart.
And one thing to take note is if you look opposite that of the plot of land, there's some blue land next to Beauty World. It's called subject to further planning. The blue site, and so it could be a potential another bidding site that Far East is looking forward to see whether they can actually hedge against this price once again. But for Far East, I think they have already held this land for close to 2 years. I guess they're 3 more years to sell. So I think it's time to start to market.
They are confident.
Right.
Okay. So we have given you that macro overview, right, of the new land bids that are coming up, what our polynomial regression trend line is telling us, and also a bit of the details of how the whole development is like, right? As I mentioned previously, we are very numbers driven. So no matter how the development is being built, of course, if there are some weird spaces that you see, right, in some of the developments that we cover, right, like Newport, then we will say it out, we will mention it. But if not, none, right? So right here, we're going to be going on to the second part of comparative analysis to see the nearby new launches, how it fared previously, and what our postulation is for the reserve residences, okay? So this is the end of the first part. If you like what I'm saying, give us a like, but we'll see you for the next one. Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.